What is up, YouTube? Video number 3. What did you guys change this week? And you guys make a change? I'm not going to ask you if you went to the gym. I'm not going to ask you if you did your cardio, because there are other types of positive change that you can implement in your life that is not just going to the gym. Maybe you're doing boxing, maybe you're running cross country, maybe you're, there's all different types of things. So I'm just going to start asking, what did you change this week? Because the goal is to change something every week, every day, whatever it may be, to get to that ultimate goal that you want, right? But today is a really important one, I feel like. And I know, all these videos have been in my car so far. Listen, I promise the next video will be one of in the gym, okay? I've just been my daughter's birthday was last weekend, so pretty busy. Wasn't able to get someone else in the gym with me. But the next one will be a video in the gym, I promise. But today, the video I want to talk about, or the idea, is loneliness. So during your time of change, you will hit a certain point where things become lonely. And what I mean by that is, my experience, this is something I experienced myself. Now, when I first started really taking fitness seriously, I had moved from my hometown to here in Oklahoma. So I kind of got forced into this, but I will say, when I moved here, right, I started to really get, fitness became a lot more important to me than it was before, but I really started to get into bodybuilding. I was taking it very seriously. And myself, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've never, ever in my life had an issue with making friends. Never. Not in middle school, not in high school, not in college, nowhere. Never have I ever had an issue making friends. I found myself struggling to make friends. And not only that, but when I first moved here, I worked at gyms. I worked at 2 different gyms when I first moved here to Oklahoma, and I still struggled to find friends. I still struggled to not be lonely, because even at these gyms, it's a lot of younger people, on the weekends, they were going out to drink. They were having parties with each other. They were drinking. They were, eating dog shit ass food, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to what they want to do, but I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to go out because I wasn't going to sleep as good, which meant I wasn't going to recover as good for the gym the next day. I didn't want to go eat unhealthy food because I had my own food that I had prepped, So I found myself lonely because I didn't have people that wanted to do the same things that I wanted to do. And so we just didn't really become friends. We were acquaintances at work, but outside of that, I was kind of alone. You guys know me, I'm a big gamer. I didn't touch my Xbox for a year, didn't touch my PC, nothing. All I did was focus on that. And it really did become lonely. But I will say, in that loneliness, I achieved something, and people started to see that achievement. So through the loneliness, through the perseverance, the consistency, whatever, I achieved something that I'd wanted. Obviously, I could always have been better, but in my eyes, I achieved something. Well, that's the point where people started to notice. I had been noticing. I had been alone, noticing that I was making, these changes. But that's when people really started to notice, and then it wasn't as lonely anymore, because now people were asking me, "Oh, hey, bro, when can we get a workout in? Hey, how did you do that? How do you do nutrition? And people started to interact with me more, because now I had done something, I had accomplished something that they were interested in, when before they weren't. So that's one thing. Now, that is just an experience of loneliness that I felt. It could be different for everyone, maybe you're in a relationship and your girlfriend does not care about working out, does not care about eating healthy, does not care about these things. Well, guess what? If you still want to have that relationship, you still want to spend time with your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, Maybe you got to start waking up at 5 in the morning and going to the gym before work so you can still spend that time with her after work. Those times are lonely when you're like, damn, bro, I've got to wake up at 4:30, go to the gym by my fucking self, get my workout in, all so I can go to work, come home, and spend time with my significant other because they don't enjoy this that I enjoy or that I want to change about myself. Maybe it's a habit that you guys created together and you're trying to change it. That's what I mean by loneliness. You will have those times of loneliness, but what I want you to realize is you must have those times of loneliness, because when you're lonely and you're by yourself and you're locked the fuck in, that is when the change happens. If your significant other was with you the entire way, you're not going to be as locked in as you are. Like there's not that sense of like, damn, I did that shit. Because if your significant other is there, it's like okay, we'll both go together. When you're there by yourself, there is a different mindset that you have to show up, get locked the fuck in, and take care of business every day. And I feel like that definitely is going to help you in anything that you do, whether it be fitness, whether it be work, whether it be, anything, So I say this to say, when you get to that loneliness, don't succumb to it. Don't feel like this is only happening to you. Don't feel like it's not supposed to happen, because it is. At some point, it is going to happen. Eventually, you are going to be outside of your comfort zone. It is going to happen. Don't fight it. Let it happen. Soak it in and just use it. Use it as a means to get what you want. And I'll end this, all right, with this quote, I guess you would say. I know a lot of my past viewers, if you remember, if you don't, it's fine. I'm a big anime guy. I love anime. And there's this show, it's called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's amazing. It's probably one of the greatest anime to ever exist. I would say even greatest, like TV shows, novels, whatever, to ever exist. If you've never watched it, I highly recommend it. You should go check it out. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You got to make sure it's the Brotherhood one, not the other one, okay? But this is something, they're alchemists. So the law of equivalent exchange, okay? And what that basically means is humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return, okay? And to me, you cannot receive these changes that you want to make. You cannot gain this, the goal that you want to achieve, these achievements, without first giving something in return. So maybe you have to give up your friends to achieve this goal. Is this goal as important as you say it is? Then maybe in return you have to give up these friends that don't share the same goals as you. And for some people, my best friend, name is Landon, my boy. He's married now, so I can tell this story. So when we were younger in high school, he dated a girl for a couple years, And as we got older, Landon became more and more invested in bodybuilding, more and more invested in bodybuilding. The girl he was dating became less and less invested in any type of health or fitness. She was actually starting to put on a lot of weight. Wasn't going to the gym, trying to talk Landon out of going to the gym. Well, eventually they broke up because, yes, at the time, did he love her and want to be with her? He did. But was she as important, and were her ideas aligned with the goal that he wanted? No. So what do you have to do? He had to give up something of value to gain what it is he wanted. And sometimes you need to give up some things to gain what you want. And maybe at the time you might not think it's equal. And then later down the road you go, well, that friend was partying all the time anyway. I just stopped going out with them, and slowly our friendship faded regardless because I didn't choose to do what they wanted. And now here I am. I've completed my goals. I'm healthier. I'm not going out spending money. I'm not drinking a bunch of alcohol. There are always rewards in some of these trade-offs, So there's my little bit of anime added into this video. There probably will be more in the future. But I hope you guys had a good week. you know, make sure you make a change in the next one. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.